So you try and go on vacation and all hell breaks loose. And so I'm back home. I'm not back home because of all that's happening in the news, which I'll get to in just a moment, because there's so much going on. And one major breaking story that I know many of you, if not all of you, are already aware of. That's what I really want to talk about today for a few minutes. But just to get you caught up, when we last visited, I think I was leaving for vacation, or I was on vacation. I don't even remember, to be honest. I'd have to go back and look. But I went over to Georgia, and I visited with all my kids, all 4 of my kids and grandkids and what have you. And then I made my way up into the Great Smoky Mountains and over into Gatlinburg, where I was supposed to be for the rest of the week. Well, as you can see, I'm back home. The reason I'm back home is because, folks, I'm telling you, I thought it's the summertime. It's brutally hot here in Alabama. I'm going to go up into the mountains. It's bound to be cooler. It was not. It was sweltering heat in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and wall to wall, bumper to bumper people, foot traffic, car traffic. It was like sardines. And while I've been released by my doctor to walk, and encouraged by my doctor to walk, and certainly willing to walk, and am walking, the notion of walking outside among throngs of people, shoulder to shoulder, in 90-something degree heat just did not appeal to me. No matter what you wanted to do, and I wasn't really going to do a lot of amusements like Dollywood and go-karts and things like that jazz. I just wanted to rest and, go to a couple of restaurants. But there were people along the strip in Gatlinburg. There were lines of people just waiting to go into a store to shop for a souvenir or something. And I knew no matter where I went for like an evening meal or whatever, I was just in for waiting. And that's just not fun to me. And I just finally said, I can relax at home. And so I called Marina and I said, what should I do? She said, well, if you want me to beg you to come home, I'll beg you. Come on home. And so I did. And I'm home, and I'm glad I'm home. There's a lot to do because it looks like I'm about to have to leave again. It looks like we have a looming family emergency of sorts, which I'll fill you in on as time goes by. I'm having to get a lot of things done here. I had some tire trouble. I didn't have a blowout. I thought I had a blowout on the van coming home, but the tires are really well worn. So I'm going tomorrow to get the tires replaced. I got to go get the tires replaced. I got to go get another key cut. I got to go get a tag. I got a big honey-do list for tomorrow. And within the next few days, I've got to take Marina out to Missouri. And I'll tell you more about that in videos to come. Pertaining to my trip, my vacation / no vacation, I told you before I went that I was going to make videos of it. I don't think they're all that great, but some of you said you want to see them, so I'm going to leave a link down below. I have another channel that is just basically my own personal video album, if you will, but anybody can watch it. It's Tim's RV Travels. That's the name of the YouTube channel, Tim's RV Travels, and I made a video for every place that I went on my trip. And they're all there. They're uploaded for your viewing pleasure if you want to see them. All right, folks, there's so much going on, so many things to talk about, but I just want to restrict this particular video to what is obviously jetted to the top of the headlines now. And of course, I'm talking about the reports that Tulsi Gabbard has released. Today is Wednesday, and there are just bombshells everywhere. A lot of the things Tulsi Gabbard has released are things that a lot of us have known about for years, and we had pretty much given up hope that anybody was going to do anything about all this. There's so much to be said about this, but let me just insert that last night, the sitting president of the United States, Donald Trump, did something that, to my knowledge, no other president has done in the history of our nation. Donald Trump last night accused another president, this one being his immediate predecessor, he accused him of treason. And I concur. And I know what the penalty for treason is. Now, as you know, as I've stated, I've had my heart broke so many times by promises here and promises there. What do I expect to happen with the Obama gang with regard to all these things that have come out? Right now, I'm in a holding pattern. Right now, I'm not going to get suckered into false hope yet again. I've got so many sources here, folks, that I can reference. And I know, I'm just one pebble in the ocean here. There's so many people on YouTube, good people, talking about this. I highly recommend Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Benny Johnson, Mark Gruber, and on and on and on it goes. I have not forgotten about Epstein, but folks, right now, this is grabbing the headlines, and I don't think that this is happening as a way to cover up the Epstein debacle. I still think that's on one of the hot burners on top of the stove. But this cannot be ignored. We have a chance to see justice done, and several players who were in on the conspiracy of our lifetime brought to justice. Let me just read you the headline from one source, but I found this one really interesting. This is from the Gateway Pundit. The headline reads, breaking, DNI, Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, releases reports proving Barack Obama directly gave the order to publish Russia collusion hoax, knowing there was no evidence to back it up. And the story reads, DNI Tulsi Gabbard released her second batch of previously undisclosed documents on Wednesday morning that include more proof that Barack Obama directly gave the order to publish Russia collusion hoax, knowing there was no proof to back it up. Obama was behind the coup against President-elect and then President Trump that sunk the U.S. government into turmoil for at least 3 years. Today's document release follows Friday's document dump by ODNI Tulsi Gabbard of a declassified December 2016 presidential briefing revealing Barack Hussein Obama knew the Trump-Russia collusion narrative was a hoax. Barack Obama knew it was a hoax, and he was involved in manufacturing and politicizing the intelligence to create the Trump-Russia collusion canard. Earlier today, Tulsi Gabbard tweeted this on X. I quote from Tulsi Gabbard, "New evidence has emerged of the most egregious weaponization and politicization of intelligence in American history. Per President Donald Trump's directive, I have declassified a House Intel Oversight Majority Staff report that exposes how the Obama administration manufactured the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that they knew was false, promoting the lie that Vladimir Putin and the Russian government helped President Trump win the 2016 election. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people, working with their partners in the media to promote the lie in order to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump, essentially enacting a years-long coup against him. Here are the top Obama-Russian hoax lies debunked by today's release. And then she releases a big pile of documents supporting what she's saying. And I'm going to link it down below. There's going to be 2 links down below. One's my vacation and one's something a little bit more important. Tulsi Gabbard is basically saying, folks, what many of us have known for so long, but the press covered it up for the most part, with the exception of people like Greg Kelly and Sarah Carter and many, many others who are honest journalists. They covered this thing up and crippled Donald Trump and probably got him defeated by Biden. Not that he was defeated, of course. That was all a sham, as we know, as you should know. But this narrative that we heard repeatedly almost 10 years ago now was perpetrated on the American people by Barack Obama for the benefit of Hillary Rodham Clinton. Included in this conspiracy was former CIA director and communist James Clapper. Communist, literally, he is a communist. John Brennan, sorry, thank you. Not Clapper. Clapper's a player too. John Brennan. You've got people like Susan Rice, and the list goes on and on. Of all of these, James Comey, all of these players in and around the Obama administration who developed this phony narrative that Russia and Putin were rigging the election somehow. It can't be done, but they were doing it somehow because Donald Trump was in bed with the Russians, don't you know? That's what was going on. Trump was in bed with the Russians, and Trump and the Russians conspired to take Hillary out. That's why Hillary lost. That's what Hillary told us. That's what Pencil Neck Geek Adam Schiff told us. And nobody in the media had the balls to go to Schiff and say, where are you getting this information from? Because Schiff would say, oh, we've got the classified documents. I've seen them. Well, then Congressman Schiff, why don't you tell us about this? What have you got? He would never say. They were just driven with this seething hatred of Donald Trump to the degree that they were willing to promote a lie, and they knew it was a lie, to undermine Donald Trump. And Donald Trump spent years and millions of dollars defending himself in courtrooms for all sorts of malicious lawsuits that were brought against him, all because these people just hate him so much. And of course, he's an agent of Putin, don't we know? It was all a lie, folks. It was all a lie. And the man behind all of these lies, the man behind this conspiracy, when you get right down, when it's nut-cutting time, when you figure out who was behind the whole thing, it was Barack Hussein Obama, the man who's going to end racism in America and unite us all. And Donald Trump last night accused Obama of treason. And I agree with him. And we know what the penalty for treason is. Folks, here is my view on this. There is no doubt. And Tulsi brought God bless that woman. I love her. I'm telling you, I look at Tulsi Gabbard right now and I'm starting to think Oval Office, if you know what I'm saying. Still a long way from that, but Tulsi Gabbard is a superstar. She might be the best member of the Trump administration. I give her lots of credit. Tulsi Gabbard, Tom Homan, RFK Jr., Bobby Kennedy, Linda McMahon, There's some good people in this administration, but Tulsi Gabbard has rolled up her sleeves. She's going to work. She is saying Barack Obama was behind this whole thing, and here are the receipts. So what happens now is Tulsi turns all of this evidence over to Pam Bondi and the FBI, and now the ball's in Bondi's court, if you ask me. Now, that doesn't instill a great deal of confidence in me, I got to tell you, but this is where we are. Now it's time for Pam Bondi to do her job. So, what's going to happen here? Are we actually going to see Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton in orange jumpsuits doing a perp walk? No time soon, I don't believe. My own feeling, and just take it for whatever it's worth, my own feeling is you're probably going to see a couple of fall guys before you see any of the big players brought to justice, if we do at all. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Susan Rice in handcuffs, or a Brennan in handcuffs, or somebody like that. Major players, no doubt. Whether we would actually see a former president in handcuffs, I really think that's probably a stretch, or Hillary Clinton. But folks, we need to see this. The American people need to see an object lesson before their very eyes that yes, we are a nation of laws, and nobody is above the law. Because right now, not too many people in America actually believe that. Yours truly included. It's like you can't go out and break the law. If you do, you're going to pay the price. But if you're a power broker in Washington, D.C., you're golden. You don't have to worry about it. You're above the law. That's the message that's being sent. And I'm telling you, if only for the morale of the American people, for the future of our country, we need our faith to be restored in our government, folks. And there's nothing that will do that quicker than bringing Barack Obama to justice. I don't give a damn that he's a former president. This man broke the law. He flaunted the law. And just like Donald Trump said, he committed treason. And there has got to be a consequence to this law breaking. There's got to be. Not some slap on the wrist. This is serious stuff. Something has to happen to show the American people we are a nation of laws, and everybody has to obey the law. From president to pauper, it does not matter. You've got to obey the law. The damage that this man did to this nation is incalculable in my estimation. Only history, past our lifetimes, will be able to look back on this thing objectively and see how much damage Barack Obama did to the United States, and the Clintons, and the Bidens, and the more minor players. Nothing will instill confidence in the American people more than these major players being brought to justice and held account for their crimes. Now, you might worry that it's going to upset some people. Well, what about, for example, what are blacks in America going to think if you incarcerate Barack Obama? It might surprise you. I mean, I don't know, but there can be no excuse, folks. This has got to happen. If you broke the law, you've got to pay the price. What if the reverse were true? What if it had been Trump that did this? Did the very thing that they were accusing him of doing, it was exactly 180. It was exactly the opposite of what they were saying. They would have no mercy on Trump, and they proved it. Up until the time, it was almost the midnight hour when he was inaugurated, he was still defending himself in court. They were pulling out all the stops. They were doing everything within their power to keep him out of the White House. The DOJ was weaponized against him. He was in courtroom after courtroom paying out millions and millions of dollars in fines and surviving at least 2 assassination attempts. And Donald Trump has said himself by this point that Obama was behind that. Can you imagine? Do we live in bizarre times or what? Marina told me a while ago that's an old Chinese proverb. May your children live in interesting times. That's not necessarily a good thing. Well, it is interesting times. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but we have got to stay on top of this. I'm not letting go of the Epstein files, but folks, right now, this is dominating the news cycle right now, as it should. There's so much more else to talk about, but this is like waking up Christmas morning and getting the air hockey table and all the other presents are socks. What's your attention going to be on? So we're going to stay on top of this and see where this goes, because this is the scandal of the century so far, if you ask me. And we're going to stay on top of it. There's a lot more there's so much to read, so much to listen to, so many facets to this. But one thing I am confident in saying is that Barack Hussein Obama broke the law and committed treason. And God only knows what else he was behind, if you get my drift. Donald Trump thinks so. I want this man. I cannot tell you how much I would love for this man to be doing a perp walk in an orange jumpsuit. It might be a stretch. I get it. I want to see him and Hillary Clinton, the whole Clinton family, the Bidens. I want them all behind bars in orange jumpsuits. I cannot tell you. I would be singing "Oh Happy Day" if that were to happen. Is it going to happen? Time will tell. Time will tell. All right, a lot more to say, but I'm going to end this right here. Listen, give me your comments down below. Really love to hear what you have to say. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Stay on top of this stuff, folks. We got a lot to talk about. And I'll talk to you soon.